Hello guys, welcome back to my channel or welcome to my channel. Today we are still at the r/AmITheA Hole subreddit and we're looking at a post submitted by worldliness. Okay underscore worldliness 3239. Okay, let's get down to it. It says, Am I the a-hole for not apologizing to my friend after she screamed at me and my kid at her wedding? Okay, let's get down to it. Obligatory, this is a throwaway. Well, yeah, considering what you're about to talk about, I'm guessing you're the a-hole, but let's get down to it. It says 2 weeks ago, I, 29, and my hubby, 31, and our son, 4, attended my BFF's wedding. She's 28. It was a beautiful ceremony and everything was going great until BFF and her husband cut the cake. Important context: my BFF did speak to me during her wedding planning about being unsure of whether or not to allow kids at her wedding. Her sisters both have kids around my son's age, and I see him as her nephew too, but she wanted to be able to let loose and enjoy her wedding without worrying about any kids messing things up. I gave her my opinion, saying me and hubby allow kids in our wedding and wouldn't have it any other way. The kids are still family and deserves to be included. Okay, side note, just because they're kids that are still family icks me. Of course they are family, but there are certain occasions where you don't let them get free way because they are going to be ruining stuff. Reasonable people know that. Okay, let's get back to it. It says, after that, and speaking with her sisters, she and her husband okayed kids for the wedding. Now the ceremony went swimmingly. BFF's nieces sat with me, hubby, and son as their sisters were the bridal party. I brought quiet activities to keep them entertained, and everybody behaved. I even cried from how lovely it was. When we got to the reception, nieces were returned to their parents, so it was just me, hubby, and son now. Dinner went fine, and then the couple took to the dance floor for their first dance. Afterward, everybody was welcome to the floor to dance for a bit before cake cutting. At this point, the kids were running around and playing with each other, and it was a fairly secure place. Okay. And I knew almost everybody there, so I felt comfortable with son playing with the other kids while hubby and I had fun dancing. Important to mention now, hubby offered to be the designated driver so I could enjoy myself. So I had a couple of glasses of wine at this point. BFF had also been drinking and celebrating. Not that that should be your concern, but let's go on. And side note again, there's no such thing as a safe place, a safe, secure place because you know everybody there. There is no such thing. We are not living in the 60s. There's no such thing. But let's continue. Okay, it says BFF and her husband got to do the cake cutting, and hubby and I were a little slow getting there, so there was a lot of crowd blocking our view. Suddenly, I hear BFF scream my son's name. Hubby and I pushed forward to see what's wrong. I see my son with frosting around his mouth and on his fingers. Oh my god. The cake had a small chunk taken out of it. I had to apologize, but BFF turns around and yells, "This is your fault. Your son ruined my cake. He's only here because you told me it would be worth it to include the kids." I yelled back, telling her that it was just an accident and the rest of the cake was still edible, that it was her nephew and she was screaming about it. She told me I was no friend of hers, and he wasn't her nephew in front of everyone. She told me to leave or she'd call security. Son and I were crying at this point, and the three of us left. Um, okay, one of the bride's sisters reached out to me, and reached out to me after and apologized for her sister's actions. Why would this bride's sister do that? Okay. I don't think the bride should be apologizing. Okay, but let's continue. But she said that I need to apologize. I think sorries are out of the window now after her outburst. I told her sister so and said I'd expect an apology first before I'd say anything to her. Not only did she blow up at me in front of everyone, but at my son. I'm humiliated, but even more angry on his behalf. So, am I the a-hole if I refuse to apologize first? Your son is 4 years old. Clearly, obviously, he's still a kid. He's still a child. He doesn't really know what he's doing. But whatever he does is never an accident. Children do things. It's not an accident. The accident will be you not training your kid well. He's 4. I'd expect better. But then again, he's 4. It's expected. And the fact that you are defending what he has done when you could have been looking after your child, that's saying something about you. And calling a wedding ground a secure, safe space for kids to play. Just because you see other kids running around and playing doesn't mean it's a safe and secure place for you to forget you have a child. Who do you think will be watching the 4-year-old when you're letting loose and your husband is being the designated driver? I don't understand. The two of you guys have problems. It's like you guys were looking for opportunities to forget you have children because it's a wedding. Everybody's supposed to be having fun. Forgetting that you being a parent is 24/7, regardless of the situation. You should always be able to know where your kids are and to do things that will stop them from ruining the day of other people. It's your kids, your responsibility. And it's never supposed to be something like this. But anyway, let's see the comments. The first comment says, "You are the a-hole. Your child is very young and needs supervision. It doesn't matter how secure the location is." Yeah, when it comes to children, there's no such thing as a secure location. But it says there's a lot of things that are not secure, like the cake, glasses, etc., like wine. I've seen kids maybe become curious and now they are breaking wine bottles in a wedding in the venue. Not only should you apologize, you should have apologized right then and there. And instead of reacting with the rest of the cake is still edible because gross, I doubt your kid had washed his hand in a while and it was an accident. No, it wasn't an accident. Your kid is young and it wasn't malicious, but it certainly wasn't an accident. Exactly what I've been saying. Things kids do, they are not accidents. They're curious. It's deliberate. You should not be excusing it with, "Oh, well, it was an accident." There's no such thing as an accident when a child is involved. Granted, they are curious. Granted, oh my God, it's delicious. I want to taste it. They don't know how to control their emotions yet. They don't know how to do certain things that we adults is expected for us. So yeah, it's deliberate. It is not an accident, but it's excused because they're children. But it's not excused as an adult that you're their parent and you're not there to caution them, to help them not behave like a wild bull in a china shop. That is not acceptable. That is not. Anyway, the comment also said you need to pay for at least a part of the cake because that tear was not edible. That's the tear the boy that damaged. It's no longer edible. The next comment says the majority of kids that are kidnapped or molested are done by an adult that they know. It's not strangers you have to worry about. It's Uncle Bob. Yeah, like people at this all these gatherings, they are all people everyone knows. And you being like, oh, my kid is secure, is playing around, that place is safe and secure. Yeah, those people, they usually target those kind of places to get their next victim. And they're not getting the strange kid that lives down the street that they've never seen before. They're targeting their relatives. Usually kids that get into things that kids are not supposed to be getting into because they're kids, and adults that put them in that situation are monsters. Yeah, they usually pick children they know. Oh, this is my auntie's baby. Oh, this is my other uncle's baby. Oh, this is our cousin's baby. Oh, and then things happen. And then you start blaming yourself as a parent. Where was I? Why didn't I notice this? Yeah, there are ways to avoid that. Watch your children and don't be looking for avenues to forget you're a parent. Because I believe parents are just easily freely throwing out their kids to go and have fun so that they can have fun. Yeah, you're trying to forget you're a parent. It's not a good thing. It's not acceptable. Yeah, obviously you're allowed to have fun as a parent, but if you are with your kids, watch them. You don't stop being a parent because you are now among other adults. Even she was drinking. Yeah, even if your husband is a designated driver, watch what you do so that you can be able to parent your child. Yeah, along with the husband too. Where was he? He is a designated driver. He's supposed to be the one sober. He wasn't watching the kid. No, that is not acceptable. They just got to the wedding and just let loose. Now the kid is eating the cake meant for the bride and the groom. Like seriously? That's not an acceptable behavior. And it tells more on the parent, not on the child. Because children don't know anything. And he's 4. Yeah, granted, there are many 4-year-olds that are very, very well behaved. Obviously, this one is not. That's why the parents are supposed to be looking after this kid. And yeah, it's just OP is the butthole. OP is the a-hole in this. So what do you guys think about this post? Please, I'd love to see your comments in the comment section down below. And until the next post, I'll see you guys. Bye.